Peace and blessings, family. This is Brother Ajay Taimba of Harlem Liberation School and AT Books. I have a very simple message for all of us today. If you want conditions in your home, your organization, or your community to improve and change for the better, you got to stop the complaining and the crying and whining. Stop waiting for somebody outside your community to save you. Stop nitpicking and being overly critical of other people who at least are trying to help. Study. Organize yourself and others to do something every day to resolve the very problem you identify. Be an active agent of your own liberation rather than a sideline critic. Peace and Black Power, family. It's Brother Ajay Taimba of Harlem Liberation School, where we teach Black people to wake up, clean up, and stand up in the words of our great Baba ancestor, Brother Malcolm X. Family, those of you joining us, we'd like to thank you for spending some time with us. If you're on the East Coast, it's a little later than usual, but we have a very special broadcast with a very special organization. I want to say in the beginning, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do that now. If you're on YouTube watching, subscribe right now. Click the button, click the bell so that you get notifications of new videos. We are not here, family, just to be seen. We're not here for fame and glory. I did that back when I was in my 20s and 30s. Been there, done that. This is about building nation. Everything we do is about pushing this idea of us as a nation, right? So that said, family, a group of sisters we're about to bring up, sisters of the underground, are not your ordinary sisters in the sense that, or ordinary people in general, in the sense that many of us talk about the problems. We have a whole laundry list and we complaining in the bars and in the beauty salons and at our homes, what's wrong. But most of us don't get involved. Now, these sisters not only got involved, but they're boots on the ground. Today, we're talking about a very important topic that they, I think, are establishing themselves as experts in because of the work that they do. And we're talking now about the human trafficking. We're talking about Black people still in the year 2023 being abducted, family. Not just little girls, grown women. Not just little girls and grown women, little boys and grown men. So we're going to bring on members of the Sisters of the Underground. Unmute their mics. My sisters, how you be?
We be fine, fine. Peace and Black Power, brother. Peace and Black Power.
Peace and Black Power to you all as well. Before we begin, can we do a quick introduction? I'm going to start with Sister Oya Badu. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We're just going to go around, okay?
Okay. Well, I'm relatively new to SO2. We were connected like, I don't know whether it was social media. I saw the name someplace, but anyway, I inquired and joined up with the sisters, and I like what they represented, their mission statement, what they stood for, the work they were doing, the work that they had done. So my background is I'm retired. I'm a retired legal paraprofessional, paralegal. I'm a retired Black Panther Party member. I'm a retired mother. And now, I'm a great grandmother, but I am always going to be in the struggle, my brother, always for my people, always. Until death do us part.
Right. Could we go to Sister Lissetti? If you're ready for us, a quick introduction. Thank you for that, Sister Badu.
You're welcome, bro.
I'm Sister Lissetti Shakur. My background is I've been doing missing persons and sex trafficking work for a long time, over 20 years doing it. My education is psychology, of course. Everyone pretty much knows that. But Sisters of the Underground came to be as a result of my community work that I was doing locally. What I was doing locally, I wanted to broaden that reach. And so I reached out to other sisters in different cities and states so that we can develop what we call a network of community activists, advocates, and build a underground system where we would combine our local resources together in case we had to get one person from one city and state to another. So when you think of us, think of our ancestors' development of their underground railroad system, and we operate similar to that.
All right. Thank you for that, Sister Lacetti. And I believe we have Sister Osset in the building. Could you just give us, my sister, a general brief introduction of yourself before we begin?
Um, Sister, I said, I've just been in the organization from, I'm one of the first members that she asked to join. That's basically it, really.
All
Sister, I
right.
said
Sister
she's
gave us a
being a
brief
little
introduction.
bashful right now, but tell them what you
That's all
be
right.
doing. Just be out
Well,
there.
I mean, everybody, well, I've been a cosmetologist for 20 years. So, in the state of Texas, it's mandatory that we look out for sex traffic victims. So it kind of goes right along with my profession anyway. So
Right. We appreciate you being part of Sisters of the Underground and for your participation this evening. And I remember, I believe we're missing somebody, or did somebody drop out the studio? Hold on. Okay.
Sister Mo, there she go.
Sister Mo Black in the building. How you doing, my sister? Could you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, I'm Mo Black, security detail for Sisters of the Underground. I I was once in the party as a national assistant deputy chief of staff, so I have background with that, as well as MOD. I basically deal with like juvenile, like children. Like that was my thing. Like going into the community, doing backpack, school supplies, making sure the children had haircuts and things of that nature. So that's basically where I came in at. Is as far as the Panther Party is, as far as the neighborhood period. But yeah, that's my status.
She's our head of security. Sister Mo Black is our head of security.
That part.
Yeah, Sister Mo Black
Yeah,
has kind of a
so I'm
sensibility.
kind of I'm
It's
I'm
very
good with
serious.
I'm good with following orders and and security. That's my bag.
That's good. That's good. And we appreciate what you bring to the table for SOTU
Yes.
and to
Yes.
our community as well. And I believe now this is, I believe, was on our last broadcast with Sisters of the Underground. I see here it says Sister I am, is that I am me?
I me. Yes. I am
I
who I
am I
am and
me.
I will be me. So,
All right.
yeah.
Could you
But
introduce
thank you.
yourself for us, my sister?
Peace and power, my brothers and sisters. I became a part of Sisters of the Underground through General Joe Jackson, the Black Panther Party Power Movement United. Um, these sisters pulled me out of a situation in New Orleans back in 2021. And me not knowing who they were, I know Brother Joe had been telling me to get in touch with Sister Shakur, and she was busy with hers, and I was busy, and we never did. But this brought us together. And because of the way they rescued me out of that situation, I couldn't help but to offer my services back unto them. And so I am a therapist and a licensed life coach. I specialize in trauma, especially sexual assault, sexual abuse, child sexual abuse, sex trafficking, domestic violence. I am also a survivor of both domestic violence and sexual abuse. And I give back honorably because I refuse to allow to be a victim all my life. I will rescue those who are in the midst of it. And so I bring to the table trauma counseling and trauma healing, because we will rescue them. And once we rescue them, we have to prepare them to be back into the community. And that's where I come in.
Thank you for that introduction. For those of you watching, you know that I do these little snippets on TikTok, leadership lessons from Ajay Taimba. There's a leadership lesson here. When you organize in the community at grassroots level, it's your best form of recruitment. It is the best form of recruitment. The sister just told you that she's a beneficiary of this organization, right? That the organization helped her personally. So, just as an aside, family watching, because all y'all are caught up in the digital age, get them boots on the ground, engage with people face to face, be a real presence in their life, and you won't have a problem with recruiting. They will be volunteering because they see the beautiful work you do. Now, with that said, let's get right into it, family. We got some important stuff to talk about today, and I guess I would start with Sister Lacetti. I know you're critical to the creation of the group. Could you describe for us what Sisters of the Underground is about? Who do you help? Who do you see as your target audience, so to speak? And what is the general work that you do for your target audience?
Absolutely. So, of the Underground, I'm sorry, Sisters of the Underground is a networking system developed in the Black communities. We specialize in our women and children. However, we do assist men, but our main focus is our women and children. We have developed a network of other sisters that are involved in their communities that would like to work with those that are missing, those that are victims of sex trafficking, or really any crisis that our women and children are facing within their homes or in their communities. We what we do is we'll get someone that needs our assistance as far as the missing persons go. We will teach them how to organize their own search efforts, because we know that law enforcement does not actually get out there and put boots on the ground and look for your loved ones. And so we structure an organized effort in order for the community people to assist these families. We have a list of resources that we combine with other members in different cities and states. We help with food, clothing, shelter. When it comes to the sex trafficking, we try to assist with relocating them. We do community organization, trying to get other sisters on board to join, our efforts if they offer some sort of resources as far as shelters, or if they have a home that we could use for our victims so that we can put them in a place to sleep for the night until we get them on the road to another city or state, or, just out of the situation in general. That's kind of the synopsis of what we do. We do active rescues. However, we do not have enough members to do as many actual rescues as we would like. So if we have any sisters out there that are licensed to carry, you know, any sisters out there that know how to use their firearms responsibly, we could use your services as well. If you want to be a armed patrol person for these missing persons and sex trafficking rescues, we definitely encourage that. However, because we do not have enough members for Sisters of the Underground, we do work with other Black nationalism organizations such as PANSOC, Fred Hampton Gun Club. All of those brothers and sisters in those organizations have been very generous as to offer, women security if they're going to court, or our sisters that are afraid to leave the homes or the situations they're in. Our brothers will go in and escort them away from that situation. So we
All
also
right.
Oh, I talk a lot, but I just
No,
want to
sister,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
We
Yeah.
like to do segments like this so that we can speak about the different statistics that our Black communities face in different cities and states.
Thank you for that, Sister Lissetti. Now I'm going to be bouncing around to different sisters to answer different questions. If you want to pass it to someone else, that obviously that's your prerogative. But I want to just make sure we have a good balance and we're not wearing Sister Lissetti out with all the questions, and that we have an equal participation from the sisters. All right. Um, Sister Orset, if you could, how would you define the term? Because we hear it all the time. We know what enslavement is. I think most of us do. But we hear this term human trafficking. We don't know, is that the same thing as enslavement? Is it different? How would you describe or define the term human trafficking?
How I would define it is when someone is being coerced with a threat, without their will, being taken to either do labor, uh, to do sexual acts. Yeah, so I think those two, to do labor and to do sexual acts without their will, they could just be taken by force. They could be groomed without really knowing necessarily that's what they're going to be doing. So something like that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, for those of you who didn't know, I hope you're paying attention. I hope some of you are taking notes. I hope that those watching are not sitting by themselves, but are sitting with their mates, that are sitting with their daughters and sons, that are sitting with their family, because this affects every single member of the African or New African family. And we need to be very clear, this is not a woman's issue. This is a family issue. Men get abducted too,
Hmm.
and boys do too. So make sure that we have the family present. Now, having said that, thank you for that, Sister Osset. Having said that, Sister Oya Badu,
Yes, sir.
I know that a lot of us have myths about different things. So there's some people say, "Oh, human trafficking is that's just girls," or human trafficking is older women that they sell into kind of a prostitution ring, so to speak. Are there any myths that or misunderstandings we have as a community that you might want to dispel about as it relates to human trafficking? Some things that we need to clear up.
The first thing is, and bringing awareness that sometimes our community are not realistically confronting the subject. We think it does not exist in our community. That's for a lot of reasons: lack of awareness, lack of education, lack of proper reporting by authorities. We just feel that human trafficking is a thing that doesn't affect us directly. And another myth is that human trafficking only occurs with immigrants. And another myth is that human trafficking does not produce any profits for those that are engaged in it. So those are three myths that I can think of off the cuff that directly
Um,
affect our community.
would
Can I
you
add to
say
that?
that it's, please do? Yes.
Another myth is that people think that it's always a white van
Boom.
when
I was just going to ask that.
it's actually people that look just like me and you. It's our neighbors, it's our family members, it's our moms, it's our dad,
Mm,
it's our brothers, aunts, uncles, it's the pastors, it's everybody.
mm. Wow. So this can be anybody that we interact with in a given week, right in our neighborhood or in our own
Mhm.
home.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
But
Wow.
every time you hear a story, it's always people are sending all these TikTok videos out about a white van. I mean, it could be a white van some cases, but it's when you pull up a lot of the uh, like if you Google and see who's in your city who's doing the sex trafficking, you'll see 20 to 30 black and brown faces
Mhm.
that just look like Lil Ray, Pookie, everybody, anybody. It look like just like us.
Mhm. So, in other words, everybody that's skin folk ain't necessarily kinfolk, family. Hopefully, black
Right.
people are sophisticated enough politically today to know that one's phenotype does not denote one's politics and one's character. So, thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's very interesting. Now, sister, I me in the building. Could you, one of the key things that made Harlem Liberation School respond so quickly to get this show done was that Sister Lissetti said that you all have some new updated statistics for us concerning visual black abductions or human trafficking. Would you be able to share some of the more powerful or relevant statistics with us?
Now I can, but I'm not as strong as Sister Aset is with statistics. So for this part, I do want to push my pass button and give it to that sister.
Okay, so we're gonna
Okay.
move. Thank you for that. I like that level of humility too. That's good. Sister Orset, we're
Yes,
gonna go back to
indeed.
you.
Yes,
Could you share
indeed.
some of these statistics with us?
I sure can. So these numbers are only what is reported to the FBI. There's still a large amount that is not reported for a number of reasons. But the total missing is 500. This is for the year 2022.
Mhm.
546,568 persons that's reported to the FBI. Um, our focus, not that we don't love everybody, but our main focus, because we don't get the media attention like other people, other groups get. Um, so our missing black persons missing per year is 214,582. That's of all ages, male and female. But the alarming rate is the ones that are under 18 is 153,374 missing per year in 2022. And those numbers are up from the last year. So for under 18, it's the numbers is up 15,000 from last year and 37,000 for the total men and women.
Oh.
So that's about, for under 18, that's about 420 under 18 that's missing, 420 missing per day. So every 24 hours, you're going to have another 420 black children missing every single day.
Wow.
Hmm. That is mind blowing. If you all can really think about the numbers that the sister just broke down for us. I don't even have this question planned, but it just makes me ask, and this goes to anyone, how is it? It seems that our community is particularly vulnerable to abductions and being forced into human trafficking. First of all, would you agree that we seem to be vulnerable to this? And if you agree, why is that? Why do we seem to be vulnerable to our little girls, boys, men, and women could be snatched up at will?
Well, I
Um,
think,
oh, go ahead.
Chris, well, I think our communities are more vulnerable because of the social conditions under which we live. Okay. When you think about what draws, what characteristics does a child possess, or what's a red flag of children that abductors really be looking for? And when you think about the elements of our largest society and some elements in the Black community, we are vulnerable because our vulnerability lies within our lifestyles. It lies within our community watch. It lies within individual homes with individual problems, whether it be a broken home or a single mother. There's so many elements to our being the vulnerable target. There's so many, and there's something that we embrace, and there's something that we discuss, and there's something that we try to bring up solutions for. There are many. I mean, by definition, there are many forms of abuse, and there are many forms of individual needs of the community. So we have to take each one and study the different various elements and come up with some viable and working solutions for them.
Very interesting and very disturbing at the same time. I hope that people watching, particularly those of you who are soldiers in the community, those of you who interact with the community, who have organizations, institutions, that you are taking notes and that you are somehow trying to find ways to incorporate this information and the work that the Sisters of the Underground, the work they do, find a way to incorporate this somehow what you do. I know Harlem Liberation School is certainly going to be putting this information out, helping to share it, raising awareness, calling on our people to get more meaningfully involved with this. Because those we love, we have to protect, family. There's just no way around that. Sisters, I know, can bear witness. They're not going to be with no guy until why he love him and he's not ever going to stand up and be protective when time calls for it, and vice versa. So this is very important. Very, very important, whether you got all daughters like me or whether you don't have one daughter anywhere in your family, because this affects men and women. And I want to make sure, am I right about that, my sisters? Is this also a male issue?
Yes.
Last year it was more male than female. So this year it's about 50-50.
See, so that's a myth we want to dispel. This is not just something that affects our young ladies. This affects everyone in our community. So it's everyone's issue. Everyone's issue. Now, having said that,
And then too, could I say something?
yes,
The
absolutely.
numbers, the numbers, like those are the numbers that are reported. Like I said, think about the numbers, like the breeding farms, the breeding baby farms. You know what I'm saying? Where children ain't got no birth certificates, no social security cards, the ones that's being held hostage just for that purpose. You got to think about that too. You got to think about the ones that are in foster care that don't get reported missing because you know what I'm saying. The fucking foster mama don't want to report it because the foster parents because they don't want to miss the income. You got to think about that too. So the numbers, I mean, hey,
Wow.
like for real. Like all that go into play. And then it's speaking on vulnerability, like shit, you gotta look at who we are as a people. Like everybody know who we are except for us. You know what I'm saying? It's about that mitochondrial DNA. It's about that. You know what I'm saying? It's about that melanin. It's about that carbon. That's what they really after. I mean, it's a lot of things with the trafficking. It's just not sex trafficking. It's organ harvesting. It's a whole lot to it.
Wow. Now I'm looking at the screen and we have someone that is watching. Majestic Sister, I like that name. Says human trafficking earns an estimated 150 billion a year. 99 billion of that is from commercial sexual exploitation. So
Mhm.
this is not just something that people do. You know, we watch these CSI shows and you know serial killers and people do this for kicks. This is not just for kicks and sexual thrills. This is a business, correct? An industry.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
It has top drug trafficking right now.
Wow.
I mean,
You
150
telling me
billion.
that human trafficking makes more than drug trafficking? Wow.
And didn't it
Wow.
just
I would
become
not have known that.
illegal in 20, what was that, 2020? Didn't it
Wow.
just become, they just made it illegal in 2020? Was that, what year was that?
For human trafficking?
Yeah, when did they just pass it where it became illegal? Because all this other time, I mean, you really, a lot of people couldn't get in trouble for it, especially white men.
It was basically pimping and pandering.
I know in Georgia it did not become illegal. Get this into 2019
20, okay, so it was 2019.
in Georgia. I don't know what it is in other states, but 2019 was the year that they made it illegal. Human trafficking illegal.
I want to jump in. And so when we are talking about human trafficking is such a broad
Yes.
term when it comes to things like this. We have to understand that when we're speaking about human trafficking, that covers sexual exploitation, it covers organ exploitation, forced marriages, and domestic servitude. So I want us to get in the habit of when we're discussing specifically sex trafficking, use that term, the word sex trafficking. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's call it what it is. We don't want to keep using the term human trafficking because that does not sting as much as the term sex trafficking does when it comes to our children, our women and children. Now, at the rate that it's going now, our children are suffering from this more than actual adult women are. They both have alarming numbers. However, these people are going after our children at alarming rates, and it's because of the poverty level, it's because of the home situation. These children figure this person is offering me all these designer clothes, this person is offering me money, so I'm gonna go over here with this person, not realizing that they're endangering themselves worse, 9 times out of worse than what they are experiencing at home, based off open promises from these people that are grooming our children. I also want to dive into how they are reaching our babies. The number one platform that they are reaching our children through is the game Roblox. I
Yes.
keep preaching and preaching and
Whoa.
preaching, telling parents that they have to take control of these gaming platforms. These people are going on this website or gaming platform or whatever it is, and they are enticing our children, pretending to be children their same age. Hey, I could get you over here to my house, and my mom and my dad will give you this and that. And the whole time, these children thinking they're talking to a child their age, and it's actually another adult that are convincing them to run away. So that leads to our missing persons as well. We have to connect the two because most of the time, our babies come up missing, it is due to sex trafficking. Most of the time.
Mm. Wow. That I have to tell you, this is very I'm learning a lot. Many children we know personally, me and my queen play Roblox.
Yeah.
So when you say like wow,
Well,
that's
it's
crazy right
Roblox,
there.
so all social media platforms. I mean, when it comes to Instagram alone, they have so many what we call dummy apps where these children can create accounts. The parents think they have access to their child's social media, but the child has a whole nother platform on these dummy apps, and they're posting illicit videos and, sexually explicit photographs and engaging in conversation, and the parents have no idea because they are not aware of these dummy apps. So I want to stress that when my babies are all adults now. When they were younger and first got into the social media phase, a couple of times a week, I would go through their phone. I mean, I wouldn't read. I would try to skim through their messages so that I wasn't too invasive. But when it comes to our babies, how far do you want to go to protect them? If they feeling I'm invasive, then so be it. But I wanted to protect them. So yes, I went through their phones. I had their social media logins. I will never be naive enough to say that my children shared everything with me, but I had such an open form of communication with my children where their friends were coming to me telling me things. So for the most part, I think I did pretty well when it comes to being active and making sure that I was aware and keeping up with the different slang and, different avenues that these children frequent, because these people every week is some form of new way that they're getting access to our babies.
Yes.
We can't keep up. It's gonna take more than the five of us. Well, it's five of us. You is it six of us, and adults who's not here? It's gonna take more than the six of us to spread this message, and so that's why we asked to come on tonight, because if we could reach just one person that can pass along some of the information, then our job is being done. So, um, and then I'm gonna let somebody else talk because I got a whole lot that I can.
I wanted
Well,
to
I wanted, yeah.
piggyback off of Mo Black was talking about earlier. The numbers that were only reported, and I meant to jump in and um, say something about the ones that's not being reported. So if that's the numbers that's being reported, why aren't the ones that are missing not being reported or not being in the media coverage? Oh, there's answers for that. They have reasons why everyone does not get a missing persons flyer. Because you have to wonder, if it's that many people missing per day, why is our phone not going off that many times a day? I mean, my phone probably go off a couple of times a week or a month, but if you got 420 children missing per day, and that's just for black and brown, why come the phone is not like beeping off the hinges about that? So I just wanted to go over the reasons why some don't get reported, or they label the kids as runaways. And I wanted to stress to parents, do not go in there and tell them your child has ran away. Once that is in the system, it stays in the system, and they will not help you look for your child. They will not send your child's name to the database. There's several databases that they send. You can send the child's report to. If your child is labeled as a runaway, they will not help you. So don't ever report, even if you feel like it. Don't report that your child is missing, because once that goes in the system, it follows them. Another reason why we don't get reported is they feel like we live a criminal lifestyle. This part of our culture. So we deserve what we got. Another one is well, they stereotype us and say that we live in poor conditions. Crime is a regular part of our lives. Drugs, gangs, all of that. They feel like that's a part of our lives, is because that's what they report in the media. So I began to research the media part, and I found the website where it was talking about why they don't report is because 80% of the media is white men, and that's not their topic to talk about, missing black children. So until we start getting more in the media and reporting our own children,
Yeah.
how are we going to know?
Let's also
But
add that.
the thing about that is that's where melanin alerts come in at.
Right.
Okay, now I wanted to pause on that because I want to get to that specifically, sister. So forgive me. I wanted to kind of move, pivot a little bit to this question. People who are watching this or who will watch the later recorded version are certainly going to be saying, "This is troubling. This is disturbing. What do we do? What's our action steps?" So, if what first of all, I think the question is, what things practically can our community do to prevent to help prevent members of their family from being abducted. And I just want to make sure we haven't forgotten you, my sister, sister I me. If you might be able to come on in. I don't want you to think that we forgot about you.
No,
What are
no,
some
no.
things we can do to prevent this?
Uh, Education, first of all, education is the top of the list. We have to once again build that village around our children. Um, we have to have those organizations. We have to speak to our children. We have to allow them to know what is safe, what is not. We have to join that buddy system again, get in that buddy system. We just can't stay in the house and hide. But we also have to know that when we go out, when we do things, we have to go, and not just two by two, because they're snatching us in groups as well. So go in a circle of a group of friends, especially if you're going away, uh, out of the country. If you're going out of the country, come on, let's go in groups, rather than traveling alone solo, because again, we're not just uh, abducting children. These are also women and men as well. So with the education, with the preparation, if you can take classes for self-defense, take classes of self-defense. If you are not licensed, you know choose your weapon of choice that you are licensed to carry and to use, so that you'll have that. Carry pepper spray with you. Make sure you allow people to know where you're going. Someone should know where you are at all times. If it's not a family, make sure it's a friend or coworker or someone, but make sure that someone can get in touch with you at all times. When you leave the house, turn your location on your phone, so that people can locate you, and have that special uh, person there that can take the message and pass it along. So we have to be vigilant about ourselves again, and make sure that we are, and I know that's just the top of what we can do to protect ourselves. But again, the main thing is we have to educate our children. We have to educate our adults. We have to educate each other and uphold each other. So that would be my take on that one.
And we certainly thank you for that. And I think as a follow up, I would ask now, let us say that unfortunately we weren't able to prevent an abduction and one of our relatives or loved ones is abducted. I'm going to go back to Mo Black because I know that Mo Black specializes in the security. And I'd like to know, what do we do if our little girl, little son, whoever is abducted? What are some steps we can take that you would suggest?
You're on mute, Mo. We
I have to
can't hear you.
unmute.
I said, you ask me then. First of all, I be on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta be real with you. But me myself personally, I'm gonna get out in the community. Like she said, it's a network. Like where I live, everybody watch out for each other. Like I can have somebody can pull up in my driveway and the crackers next door gonna come out and greet me. So I'm like, hi, how are you doing, buddy? My name is so and so, so and so. You're here for Beverly. I'd be mad at a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I know they being nosy, but it's a good thing too. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at them. It's like everybody got to look out for everybody. That's first of all, like neighborhood watch, like cameras in the neighborhood. Like I got that where I live at. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. Shit pop off, I call the city. I'm gonna be real. I gotta be real with you. I got bad nerves.
Wait,
When shit go array with me, I call the city. I'm like, what do I do? And she give me a line. She be like, Mo, calm down, breathe. You got this. You know what I'm saying? You security. I'm like, yeah, you right. I'm that motherfucker. So I get in gear, you know. But
Okay, understood.
yeah, you just it's a network. You have to. It's about informing each other. We got to watch out. Like I used to hear the old folks say, "It take a village to raise a child." That's true. I didn't understand it when I was younger. I understand what they're talking about now. Like now, somebody say something to your child, you get mad and you pull guns and you want to fight and da 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 da. Motherfucker got to come up off this shit, man. For real. Folk got to come up off this. We got to look out for each other. The white folks looking out for each other. They got a whole system called the Amber Alert. Cause this little white girl went missing. You see what I'm saying? We got a system called Melanin Alert. Not that many people know about it. We can share it all day long. But
Tell us more about that.
y'all still use that Amber Alert. You see what I'm saying? And we got boots on the ground. It's us 5, 6. My bad, Dodo. It's us 6, but you know what I'm saying? We have backup. We got backup because we have other organizations. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna speak too much on it though. But we ain't out here by ourselves. It ain't like we, just going in us 6 and doing the rescues. Like we strategic with what we do. And I think everybody need to be that motherfucking way. Until then, these kids gonna keep getting abducted, men, women, and children. They're gonna keep taking our organs. They're gonna keep pimping our children and all this other man. The key word is alert. You got to be alert. You got to see. I'm from the hood, so I pay attention to every motherfucking thing going on around me. Everything. I don't slip a beat. I don't miss nothing. You hear me? Nothing.
Your head on swivel, huh?
Shit. Thanks again. It ain't.
Sister
I
Mo
wanted
Black, could you explain that melanin alert that you referenced? What is the melanin alert? What's that about?
Shit, same thing Amber Alert is. It's just for niggas.
Mo, you couldn't make it any plainer.
Okay.
Okay, listen. Okay.
no,
If you
no.
wanted to explain
Go
like
ahead.
that, let's see it. Go ahead.
Go
You
ahead.
explain. It's for us. It's for us. It's the
That's
same
right.
thing.
That's it. Amber
It's the
Alert
same
for us.
thing. It's just for us.
There we
It's
go.
the same thing as the Amber Alert. It's just for us. Who gonna look out for
Okay.
us? Who gonna go look for us but us? Look how
What
many of
is the
us
phone
missing.
number?
Them folks ain't trying to look for us.
Give her the phone number.
So you can
Shit.
find more information about melanin alerts on our website, which is sotusisters.com. And I'll put it in the live chat for everyone. You can opt. What it is a missing and endangered alert system, like Sister Mo Black just said. It's design behind the concept of Amber Alert. However, this melanin alert is strictly for melanin people. That we only send these alerts for melanin people, and that is for men, women, children. Um, you opt in to get the alerts, and if you have a child or a loved one that needs an alert put out for them, you have access to contact us and submit information. And what it is, we'll send out a mass text to everyone that has opted in to receive the alerts. We also post it to all of our social medias. Right now, we have a social media page for the active states that we have current conductors, which is Nevada, California, Tennessee, Texas, and Georgia, and Louisiana. So if you live in one of those states, we do have a page designated specifically for those states. If you want to manage a page for your state, we will accept you to do that. We want to try to narrow it down and specify our alerts individually for the states when it comes to social media. So that's the reason why we have these multiple pages. We also need more conductors. If you're an advocate or a retired mom that wants to get out and speak about these subjects, or again, manage one of the pages, we can use your assistance in that way as well. You can contact us on the website if you just want to be an advocate. We do not require all of our conductors to be boots on the ground, because we know that a lot of people have smaller children that prevents them from being as active as that. But we have something for everyone to do, whether you are, a disabled person and can just type on a computer or make some phone calls. We need your assistance as well. It's so many levels to our missing person and our sex trafficking victims. We have something literally for every background, no matter what your education level is, no matter what your job expertise is, we can use it. And again, it's only 6 of us right now, so we can't help as many people that come to us. Although we want to, we just don't have the numbers to do so. Not to mention, we are not financially able to travel to all of these cities and states. We would love to be able to come to a different city and state and assist with our rescues, but unfortunately, it's just not a reality for us at this time.
Now, I noticed we got a young man that is in the studio waiting to come on. I believe his name is Brother Talib Shabazz Bey. Does he work with Sisters of the Underground?
No, Talib, I invited him to listen in on the show.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But he's
All right.
very much, he's in Arizona. He's very much into missing persons in his home state. But
he can come
I
on and
told him,
speak if you like.
I
I
told
don't.
him he could, whatever. If you want to invite him to speak, it's cool. I mean,
Yes. Brother Talib, if you'd like to come on and speak your piece, brother, are you cool with that? All right, we're going to bring our brother in. Oh, man, it's saying that I have to remove one of you before adding him, and then I'll bring you back on. That's what it's saying.
You can remove me. I'm fine with that.
Okay, give me 1 second. We're going to bring our brother Talib Shabazz Bey. And how's Brother Talib? How you be, brother?
Phenomenal, blessed. I'm old school, so I want to say thank you, Miss Kathy. We do the first name thing. So thank you, Miss Kathy, for the invite. I had no idea what it was. You can see right now I'm currently, in a hotel room on this very topic that you all are speaking on. Somehow the creator and the energies and the powers in the universe that be have it's a double-edged sword. You can't have a sunny days without having bad days. Hold on, let me turn this television off so you can hear me better. Yeah. Wow, I just turned it down. I can't even turn it off. So long story short, I have tomorrow there's a major event here tomorrow evening in Sarasota, Florida. And the entire purpose of it is exactly what we're speaking on. So I met with a gentleman. Miss Kathy knows who I'm speaking of. His name is General Flynn. He's part of Team Trump. Also, it's a huge panel. There's a lot that's about to be happening, so I don't want to be all over the place. But another person on the panel was someone that was abused and raped by Clinton. So she'll be testifying. You see all the stuff they're doing to him. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So it's a two-way street now. So now the door and the questioning can be opening on that side. So the number one reason, in addition to him, they've labeled him a racist, but he is exactly the opposite. He is the reason why I dove into and learned about a lot of this information when he started talking about returning the land to who it belongs to and holding these devils accountable, like the Pope at the top of the food chain on down. He started talking about exposing, like what I'm dealing with, DCS in Arizona, which is the largest human and sex trafficking agency that there is in the whole America, which is state funded, by the way. And he is the one that connected the dots, like, yo, you know, he's a businessman and he's in finance, and he connected the dots and saw that, I don't know if you know, all of us are a trust. And so what happens is they steal your child, and they're just like jail. Jail and DCS are basically the same thing. DCS is just jail for children. And what they do is they are able to, just like when they steal your body and put you in jail, right? They eat off of your trust. So they are incentivized to fill up the jails. It is no different. I want you to understand, family. DCS is no different. You know how it's called, the correctional system. It has nothing to do with correcting anything. It has everything to do with one word called revenue. So the same way that they eat off of all of our family and our uncles and our fathers and aunts and all the people that they steal and abduct, they do the same thing in DCS. They steal our children, and then they're able to eat off of their trust. And now they're also incentivized to get more money. So just like when you're in school, I remember I come from that generation, but my grandmother shut that shit down. So they, they tried to, there's modern day drugs, but when I was a child, it was called Prozac, right? Remember? So I didn't have a father. Why? Because the very system that I'm talking about made a bunch of bad things happen. He was a veteran. He came out, then he was on drugs again that they put here. And he was murdered with guns that they put here. But he connected all of these dots and said, yo, these are the people that put the guns here. Like you're looking at all of these boogeymen. Every problem that we're dealing with is actually an internal problem. So if you all are familiar with what is it, Snowfall, the television show Snowfall, I want to share that link. I shared it with Miss Kathy before, but it is an actual documentary that goes into, I'm just connecting some dots here for you. It's a documentary that goes into the truth behind it. So you know who the real Rick Ross is, not the rapper. The rapper took his name from the drug dealer, and the drug dealer was a CIA agent funded in Compton, California. So I have all of the redacted paperwork that shows, and the documentary does it in a very short time, and it does it, colorfully, and it's easy to watch. I'm a nerd. I'm going to read the actual paperwork. And the actual paperwork says that, yes, there was a war going on. It's always about war, right? But just like what's going on now with you, brilliant idea. They took cocaine and they created a better, cheaper version of it called crack, right? And then the first individual that they delivered it to for mass distribution was in fact Rick Ross. And then Rick Ross was funded by them to move it. Now, the deal was
Brother Bay, just hold on one sec. I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
I just want to pivot back
Yeah.
to make sure that we focus on the work that SOTU is doing and this issue of the sex rings, the sex trafficking, the human trafficking. Do you stand with Sisters of the Underground? And if you stand with them and support them, why? Why is the work that they do important, in your opinion? I think our brother got frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the work they do important? If you can hear me, because he might have lost signal.
But
Right.
can I say something?
Please.
What he's saying, it's a domino effect. I feel where he's coming from, because that shit right there play a part in it too. That play a part in it too.
Absolutely.
You think it don't? You think putting women and men, our folks, on dope back then, you know what I'm saying? That shit, sex trafficking and organ harvesting, that shit ain't just started. That's been going on. It's been a whole grand scheme from the jump. Like these people really have they play a whole position. This shit is motherfucking chess with them. This shit ain't checkers. They know what they doing.
Let
Man,
me
it's
ask
real out
this.
here. And what he's saying is real. Even when he went
Absolutely.
deep and said something about, you know what I'm saying, the corporation, because that's what America is, and they
Mhm.
owe a debt. It's a corporation. It's never uh it's not the United States of America. It's not USA. It's a whole fucking corporation. That's what it is. And I know what he's talking about when he's talking about them numbers on the back of their social security card. I know what he's talking about when he's talking about their seal on their birth certificate because I've been researching this shit. And guess what? When you owe a debt, guess who gonna pay the piper? Cause the US dollar ain't backed on shit. We clearly see what's going on with that. Man, it's deeper than folks think it is. I feel where he
Well,
coming from. He ain't never lied.
as a segue to that, I just want to keep this squarely on the issue at hand. I know there's other things that contribute, but we want people to leave here knowing about the work you do, how they can be supportive, what human
Correct.
trafficking is, what sex trafficking is. So going to
Correct.
Sister Lissetti, I know you young ladies rather, must need money for transportation, money for food, money for supplies, and all these other things. If people watching this want to donate money, how would they do that?
Yes, so I want to reiterate that we are not a nonprofit organization. The reason why we are not a nonprofit is because there's so much red tape when it comes to becoming a nonprofit. And let's just be honest, to get a nonprofit status, we have to get funding from those that are actually participating in this.
Right.
So, I mean, let's just put that out there. We are not a nonprofit, but to answer the brother's question specifically, if you would like to donate right now, we do take donations through Cash Out, which is Underground Sisters. You can view that on the website as well. And the website again is SOTU, SOTU sisters.com. You can learn about who we are. You can learn about the different services we assist with. It's a lot of information on these specific subjects that is on the website as well. So if anything, just go check out our website after this broadcast and familiarize yourself with some of the stuff we're talking about.
Sister, repeat the website one more time for us.
Yes, sir. So it's SOTU, SOTU, sisters.com.
Okay. I'm going to scroll that on the bottom so that people can see that. Is that spelled correctly?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so if you want more information on the work that our sisters do, the help that they need, and how to be helpful to them,
Earlier you were talking about
and that's
preventive
say again.
You're breaking up, I said.
So we're talking about a few things now. While we were talking, our sisters been putting up some very good
Y'all hear me?
statistics. So it said, is that you?
We was talking about earlier. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me? Oh,
It's
okay.
just a little
We were
bit.
talking about earlier about preventive care, and I don't think we touched enough on it. But what we can do in our communities is create. We need to create a list of numbers of who can help, because say a parent child is missing, they're thinking about work, They thinking about the child missing. It's so much that they're thinking about, and they could kind of just kind of, go into a whole panic attack. So we have to make it normal to start creating folders with all of our children's information. We need to have all this information about our children and their lives handy. We don't need to be at that moment trying to scuffle up what did they have on, or what kind of car do they drive, where's the picture at, just all this stuff. You don't have time to do all that because you want that's taking away time going to look for the child or looking for the missing person. So we have to start creating networks of people that can help us do that. If you have a folder, you have that folder is ready, you have all the information, you can send an advocate to go do the work if they need to go to the police department, or if the advocate needs to go call other advocates while you try to get this together. So we have to make that normal of getting the information prepared before the crisis hit. And it was something else that I wanted to say about that. And then in your state, you need to find out what are the what I just put it in the group chat. You need to find out what's the process. Don't wait till the day of and then you go to the police station and then they don't help you. Now you're frustrated, you don't know what to do, you're panicking. You need to know all these processes beforehand. You need to be researching all that information right now. You need to get your folder, your kid's name, their where they work at, their friends' phone numbers, addresses that they frequent, what's their favorite place that they go eat at. We have to start looking at the cameras in the area where they were missing from. Go back and give the people the missing flyer and say, hey, my child was missing. They was last seen in front of your camera. Can you go back and look and contact me if you see my child? I mean, it's like a lot of measures that we have to take instead of waiting to the last minute.
And
For that, sister.
may I add something about in the home?
Yes, please.
Okay, we live in a digital era. I mean, my children are grown. I have grown grandchildren. But one thing, and I was a single parent, but one thing I always did was know the whereabouts of my child at any given time. But I know new age parents think that my daughters did it with my grandchildren. Well, mom, things are different now. We can't be that strict like your parents were on you or you on us. It's not a matter of being strict. It's being concerned. It's caring about your loved ones. And with these devices now, you know, uh, cell phones. I got relatives that are 7 and 8 years old with a cell phone, a device in their hands. People don't know how to monitor their children oftentimes because this the age we live in, so they say. So first of all, never let your child leave home without knowing what they have on, the dress, their apparel, what they wearing. I went to work. I got up to go to work after my daughters went to school, but it was a rule. I had to see them. I had to get up and look at them physically and remember what they had on, just in case something would happen to them. And now, even with cell phones, it's so easy to maintain contacts with your children. I mean, Life 360 got a free app. So what? It may be a little intrusive because you get to see everywhere somebody at. But I have, and it has circles. I have 4 circles on Life 360 app. My girlfriend's family, my grandkids, and my sister-in-law because she lives alone. The app actually tracks all those persons' whereabouts. It has maps. You can enlarge the map and see exactly the point they're at. Yeah, it's intrusive. It's giving the man too much leeway and too much data and too much, of your whereabouts. But for safety reasons, I think that's really, really necessary for these young kids.
Thank you
Um,
for that.
Life
I'd
360.
like to add something to that too when you're done.
Sure. Life 360 is a free app. You can get the upgraded one. It doesn't do that much more for you, but not only does it give location, but on the map itself, it has all the all the predators. I mean, the people that have to be the registered sex predators. All those are on the little map too, within in a certain area. So it's a great app. It's a great app.
But these parents don't need to be getting their kids no phone if they don't have no tracking device on it anyways. Like I've never ever bought my children a phone.
No,
If I
no. I
can't
mean,
be in control of it, then you can. I'm not buying no phone, no $1,000, and you got a lock on it. And I no.
I said we are different breeds. Trust me.
Yeah, but who the parent? Who provide the household, the food, and all that? We have to start putting our foot down.
That's right. Our parenting. Well, parenting today is parenting. Everybody parented different. I have nieces and nephews.
Well, that's
I
because
would
the white folks
never.
told us how we got to parent.
Yeah, I would never allow the things that some parents I see do. I would never allow it, but that's the reality of it. They do have. They
For the
do
masses. Like,
for the
it's
masses.
for the
Yep.
masses, not everyone. Because I'm with
Mhm.
you, sister. Said we gotta start taking back control of being a parent. We let these folks come into our schools and get our children minds, and then we let them come into our homes and take control over how we parent our. The way they parent their children does not benefit Black folks' children. Let them
No.
parent their children. Go back to how we were brought up. Let's get back to that. But unfortunately, we have come such a long way from how most of us were raised. Is not how these parents are raising their children today. And
Mhm.
honestly, I'm glad my babies are adults now because
That part. That part.
because and we that's a whole nother subject probably for a whole nother day, but we have to get back control of being parents of our own children. It's
That's right.
just mandatory that we get that mindset back. But
So
And putting
I was
programs
gonna
back in
say,
the community.
I'm sorry,
I'm
sis.
sorry, who was that?
Oh, I was saying, and coming back, and I know there's a lot of programs in the communities, but a lot is not enough.
I
We
agree.
need more programs. There are a lot of events going on. We need to start setting up little booths at these events. And, I have a poster board that I make and I take it everywhere I go. And I just talk about it. I have to update it. This is the one from 2021. So I
That's a
take this
great
post
idea.
board everywhere I go. I will be in Mississippi this weekend. I will take my poster board and talk about the information everywhere I go. I try to make sure I talk about the information at any program. I'm pretty sure that a lot of these events will let you set up a table for free and just let everybody be aware of what's going on
And if
I
I
because
wanted
people
to
can,
don't
add
know.
to that. I'm sorry, my sister, we want to hear from you. Please go
okay.
ahead.
I do want to add too, because they so much information is being given out so quickly. One of the questions was what to do if our loved ones were abducted. What steps do we actually take? And I know Sister Mo and Sister Upset, they gave some great information. And so I just want to kind of put it in a category for, so you'll know step one, step two, step three. I did hear read one of the statements that said, do we not contact the police department, or do we do it on our own? That is your personal choice. That's up to you. If you trust your police department in the place that you're in, yes, do. In order to receive an Amber Alert, you will have to have the following information. You will have to pretty much saw who took your child. You would have to have description, updated photographs of your child. You would have to have a description of exactly what they had on. You would have to have the license plate of the vehicle that they took. If you don't have this information, you're not going to qualify for the Amber Alert. And that's, that's sad, because sometimes when your child is getting abducted, you don't think, well, no, let me get something right. And if you don't have a photogenic memory, then to remember or memorize numbers on a license plate, you can forget it. You're already in a panic. But one of the things that you do, please, like Sister Aset said, make sure that you have that folder so you'll know exactly what your child is wearing that day. Provide the descriptions. Give as many details as possible. We do know that our children sometimes they do things. So they'll wear one thing and then they'll have another set of clothes in their backpack, to change before they go wherever they're going. Check them social media pages. Most times they update their pictures with what they actually have on and then change back. Recent photographs, as many as you can. Write down the details and then create a timeline. Compile a timeline from the last time that you saw them to the abduction, or where they were or what they were doing. Contact as many family and friends as you can. Notify the schools, notify the workplaces. Use your social media. And again, you do want to coordinate with law enforcement, because once we find them, we do want them in jail. We want them punished by the highest cause of the law. And then try to stay calm. Keep your log, stay documented, stay informed, stay up on everything from the time that you called, to the time that today. Document everything that you can, and work with an advocate like so too. Work with an advocate, like the gun clubs. Work with people in your community that will surround you with the tribe support that you need, and use your resources. So, those are some of the things that you can do in order, when your child or your loved one is abducted, so that you can have everything in order. Because again, when these things are happening, your mindset is everywhere. But if you would write these down and keep them in a safe place, when it happens, you'll have that to go to and use it as your resources.
Good idea.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Now we're coming up to the end of this broadcast. I want to just
To
start to
add
any
something
of
to
our
that,
sisters.
the
Anything
person
that you
who
want to say
said
that you
about the
haven't said.
police, um, oh, okay. When the person who asked about, do you contact the police? You do want to contact the police, because not contacting them, then the child's name cannot go to the reporting agencies. There's a lot of it's so many reporting agencies that the police department's supposed to report to the agencies, and they can circulate the flyers on their sites and stuff. So yeah, you do want to call, go to the police department.
You're breaking up, sis.
Yes, you are.
But did
Okay.
y'all hear
Were
all
you
that?
done, Sister Offset?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sisters, was there any information or point that you wanted to express that you didn't get a chance to express yet as we begin to close? Anybody?
I do. I want to say that when you're dealing with uh, human trafficking, when whenever a person, let me say it like this: all human trafficking is not just where they abduct your children and take them away. There's human trafficking right in our faces every day. There are little girls who go to school, and after school, they have to report to a hotel or a certain spot. I know um, in Louisiana, there was a spa area where people were getting massages. So, you know, these people were coming in and they were working, they were being trafficked uh, to get their basic needs met, to pay their bills, to pay. But this is, you know, it's a crime. This is criminal activity. And so, not all human trafficking, to destroy that myth as well, is not just we abducting your children and we're taking them away from you. Sometimes they're coming home and you don't know that your child is being trafficked. You can notice this by sometimes by them having nightmares, or they're having bruises on them. They may become very anxiety, sometimes withdrawn from you. A lot of times they may have anger issues all of a sudden. These are some of the characteristics of people who are being abused, being sexually, being domestically. Um, and so these are some of the telltale signs when you see your child leaving one way and coming home another. They may leave home and they don't have makeup on, and then when they come home, they're heavily have a lot of makeup on, or you're finding these little things in their closets. You know, these are all telltale signs that something is going on, and we have to be aware of not just when they are abducted, but also when it's right in our face. What does it look like? And so I just wanted to add that as well.
Definitely appreciate that. Anyone else, before we leave, is there anything you did not get a chance to say that's in your mind or heart to say?
I'll go. I just want to piggyback on some steps that we can take when we have a loved one that is missing. The first step would be to contact law enforcement. We definitely, like Sister said, we definitely want to contact them because they have access to getting your child, your loved one, not just your child, your loved one name onto these databases that they manage. We also want to contact our medical and our mental health hospitals. We want to contact the coroner's office. We want to contact the jails if it is a young adult or even a juvenile, but we want to contact all of these places before we start to panic. We want to do our due diligence before we start to panic. Lastly, I want everyone to go on Google or your local listing directory. Guaranteed there is a organization of some sorts that focuses on missing persons or sex trafficking. You want to get an advocate on your team when you have someone that you suspect that is a victim of trafficking or they are missing. The reason why I stress this is because sometimes when our loved ones are missing or our children are victimized, we can't do the thinking. I that term. We can't think of all the questions that we need to ask because our minds are preoccupied with worrying about the safety of those that are victimized or are missing. An advocate will have resources to get your name and your child on these different news channels. They will be able to reach out to other advocates that in the surrounding states, because we know when it comes to sex trafficking, 9 times out of 10, your loved one is not going to be located in the state that they were abducted from. So, again, you want to make sure that you know who are advocates that you can call so that they can assist you with the questions. They know who to call to get your child on the news channels, they know who to reach out to for other resources. So, that's all I want to add. I know, brother, we were supposed to only be on here for an hour.
Oh,
I
we
thought,
Okay. It's an important
um,
enough topic. Yeah, so yeah, it's
but
important.
I do want to say that we touched a lot of topics on this one show. Obviously, this topic is such a broad topic. It's impossible to for everything
Yes.
on one show. So we need multiple platforms. We need multiple people that can assist with spreading the word out about this. Share this video or reach out to us via email. You can email us directly from the website, or you can reach us on any of the social media pages if you had any further questions about this, or if we can assist you in some way, or if you just want to volunteer. We definitely need more volunteers. And that's the end of my rant.
Thank you for that, Sister Lissetti, and all of our queens, our sisters, our sister warriors
Yeah.
who are on the front lines, boots on the ground, making it happen. Many times in ways that a lot of our other members of our community are doing the lip service, but aren't actually out there. So we really salute you in the work you do. And we do hope that this broadcast will bring some people over to help with donations, some people to help with supplies, and maybe even some new recruits. I just want to say this. I'm going to highlight myself for a quick minute to talk to the family. Family, I say this all the time. Our oppression was the responsibility of the white man. The white man oppressed us. We can talk about we not this and we not that. The white man built the prisons. The white man made the law. The white man created enslavement. The white man did this to usurp our labor and exploit us. So that goes to him. But the responsibility for our liberation is ours alone. That's our responsibility, right? So as a classroom teacher for probably over 30 years, I used to tell parents when we talked about the safety in the school that if we gave you a bag of solid gold bricks, we told you you got to be at this place, you got to pick it up at this time, you got to wear these clothes, you got to do it. We wouldn't have to wake one parent up. We wouldn't have to call you. We wouldn't have to beg you to come. You would all be on that corner getting that bag of solid gold bricks. You would know what bag it was in. You'd be able to describe the bag, and you would not leave that bag of solid gold bricks with anybody that was not above reproach. The problem, it seems, is our mentality, to the point where some of us won't leave this device anywhere. Oh my God, where's my phone? The phone we give more value than our own kids. Our kids will be anywhere. We don't know where they are. But oh God, don't let us leave the phone nowhere. We have to change our mentality, our priorities, and our values. That's what nationalism is supposed to be about, not just defending against the white man and these other things, building institutions. We got to change our values. Once our values and priorities are in order, we won't have to be begging people to come out and help protect the kids. Your children are more important than a bag of gold bricks, and certainly more important than a phone. When I was when I was a dad with young children, and it was told to me, oh, they're going over here to sleep over here. Oh, no, no, no. Daddy pulled up. Where's this place? I pulled up to them places. I want to see the place. And I have to tell you, it was one or two times I went to these places where one of my daughters was supposed to be sleeping over, and it was not a hospitable place. Bunch of older dudes smoking weed, liquor. No, 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 baby girl, you're not staying here overnight. So we have to be hands on. This is what I mean. If our priorities were right, some of this stuff that's happening would never be able to happen. I don't want the kid to be mad at me. Let the kid be mad at you, but protect them, right? That's what we talking about with the old school parenting. Let the kids be mad. They won't understand everything, but let them know one day you're going to get it and you're going to thank me. But I am your custodian. I'm in charge of your safety. So this is about getting our mentality right, our priorities right. What's more important? The safety of our children or how people perceive us? People watching, I'm imploring you to support our sisters. Watch this show again. If you got caught in the middle, go to the beginning and watch it again. If you're seeing it by yourself, watch it with your family. A lot was covered, but if you go through it in parts, you're going to really inform yourself on a lot of key things. We're going to have our sisters back on too, because we can't possibly cover everything in this one time. I would like to see us do a series at some point, maybe a 3-part, 4-part sort of situation. We get everything out, and each part will cover one specific thing, you know. But I just want to thank all of our sisters. I want to show them our warrior queens in the building. Wait, where's our sister? Oh, Mo
No.
Black, you've been out this whole. That's my bad.
Now I've
Okay,
been out here. You been treating me like I'm the motherfucking redhead stepchild.
me.
I peep game.
Oh my, Mo Black. I got nothing but respect for you, sis. Trust me, nothing but respect.
I
If
love
it
you
came
too,
off that way,
brother.
then my apologies. My apologies if it came off that way. But
You
I
all
want to
right with
thank
me?
all of. Huh?
I said you all right with me.
All right. Thank you. That means a lot. Um, Sisters, thank you for the work you do. As you know, when you're a community organizer of any type, it's often a thankless job. You often will put in 23 hours in a day, 18 hours a day, and you won't hear one thank you, but you will hear a million complaints. What you didn't do, where you could have been, what you should have done, right? But we're doing God's work and we're doing the people's work. And I salute all of us for doing that. We got to get back in touch. If you ever have any other issues you want to get out, information you want to get out, please feel free to contact me, as Sister Lissetti did. Um, I want to make sure I throw up a few quick things as we get ready to go out. Majestic Sister, thank you, whoever you are, for all
Please,
of
thank
these
you.
great statistics that you've been putting up throughout the show, and also Osette's Garden. So I'm just gonna go through different things as we get ready to go out. Oh, by the way, I want to give a shout. Sister Brenda Hilaire is my queen. She's my partner. She's been adding different things to the broadcast as well. Salute to our sister
Black
as
Power
well.
sis.
And we,
Thank you, sister. Yeah.
yes, she deserves that. And we hope that we can do something to bring people to help. There's a million ways you can help. You may not be a conductor like these sisters, but you might just be somebody that's gives them information, a researcher. And I'm sure that they can, if you get in touch with them through the website, they can help you kind of sort out ways that you can help that may not be always in the front, right? So, family, please don't hesitate to go to the website. I'm gonna put up real quick. I want to make sure that we do not miss this. I don't want to give anyone a reason not to support. Oh, here it is. The track on the bottom. So2sisters.com. Check that out for anything that you did not get here, to connect with them, to find out about mailing alerts, find out how you can support. And with that said, family, want to thank all of you sisters. Want to thank the family watching. Spread the video. And, you know, we're definitely going to have our sisters back. Thank y'all. Peace and Black Power.
Peace
Black
and black
Power.
power.